You are watching a master at work.
Truth Nation, get ready for the greatest 60 minutes in radio, giving you his authentic and bold opinions, bringing you all the information, entertainment, and conversations you gotta hear. From local issues to trending topics and headline news, it is time for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
Happy Friday! It is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace, and this is your girl, DT, guest hosting for Kyle Wallace today. Kyle is on assignment and will be back next week. You're listening to the best station on planet Earth. What's going on, Truth Nation? We so appreciate you. Here's the great news before we get into it, because see, it's hard for me sometimes when I'm hosting or guest hosting an hour show, because it just goes by so doggone fast. But let me first and foremost wish everyone a happy Friday. It is Friday, September 19th, 2025. I'm excited because I'm going to be back in Milwaukee next week. And furthermore, when I researched the weather, okay, Wisconsin, 70 degrees next week. I am here for all of it. We got Rhea on the ones and twos. Good morning, Rhea. Or I should say good afternoon, Rhea. How are you?
Good afternoon, everybody.
I was like, good morning. I'm so used to saying good morning, but it is the afternoon. Some of us are already excited. That is Friday. We got a great show for you. Good afternoon, SE. Good afternoon, RN Kawanda. Shout out to all the Truth Nation listeners and viewers on our YouTube message board, which you can watch right now. You can stream and watch me live. I'm trying to get my camera so that, you know, my cheekbones and, you know, all my features are highlighted on this very, very exciting Friday. So talk to me, 833-212-1017. What today we're going to be talking about is there's some big headlines that are going on in southeastern Wisconsin, including Milwaukee. Microsoft recently announced that there will be a $7 billion, that's right, $7 billion AI, or as we also know as artificial intelligent data center that is coming to Racine County. So yep, that's right, Truth Nation. Wisconsin has just circled Racine County in bold, italics, and underscore. This data center is going to be in Mount Pleasant. Now, keep in mind, Truth Nation, this is the same ground that was once carried by, and I'm doing the air quotes, the Foxconn promise. Y'all remember that, right? Yeah. Now, Microsoft is calling this campus Fairwater. So whenever you see or read or even receive a notification about Fairwater, lean in, because it is marketing this data center. Check this out, y'all, as the world's most powerful AI data center. Okay, this is going to be right here in Wisconsin, in Racine County, the world's most powerful AI data center. It's going to be built with hundreds of thousands of NVIDIA chips, which is going to basically just train the next wave of AI. There's going to be some phases. Now, phase one is set to go live in early 2026, which is basically tomorrow. Now, in terms of employment, this is where it hits home, y'all, because many of us, we've been reading headlines, we've been hearing about unemployment, especially in our community. And so this data center is projected to create, this is according to Microsoft, about 500 jobs at the first site. So that's the first phase, which goes live in early 2026. Then it's going to grow into 800 jobs as the second phase, which is a 4 billion, that's right, with a B phase, comes online. Now, to calm utility nerves, I know a lot of y'all like, wait a minute, this sounds real expensive from a power utility standpoint, as you should be. Now, to calm the utility nerves, Microsoft has said it will prepay the grid upgrades. Thank you, Microsoft, because that's one thing we don't need, is increased utilization, thus resulting in increased power bills, utility bills. And in addition to that, in addition to prepaying the grid updates, they're going to run a mostly closed loop cooling system. So here's the question for Truth Nation. Is this the redemption for Racine County, or just another shiny headline that we've heard before, i.e. Foxconn? So we're going to separate the hype from the hope today. And again, quick rundown before we come back from our first break. Total spend, $7 billion. It's going to be 2 facilities in Mount Pleasant, i.e. Racine County. The timeline is the first site is going to be completed around early next year. The second site will be announced in terms of exact dates in the second quarter at around $4 billion. Jobs, 500. That's the first facility. 800 jobs with phase 2. And what I find so kind of like ironic / poetic justice is this going to be built on the same land that was assembled for the Foxconn project. 833-212-1017. Is this redemption? Are we feeling good about this? Or do we think this is going to be just another shiny headline? We've heard it before. Let's separate the hype from the hope, Truth Nation. You are listening to Truth to Power with your girl DT, the effective communication coach. It's Friday. We got a lot to talk about. Stay locked in on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube. More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Do I dare even answer this man's call?
Sure. Are you there?
I ain't even answered the damn call yet, man. Bob, keep this on. Bob, listen to me. Keep this on the subject matter, and if you can, we can't take your call, man. You distracted.
Okay, now look. Since you don't listen to Linda about getting married, at least take that thing around your neck to push when something happens.
Watch all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows by subscribing to 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Celebrate the reigning queens of disco with Disco Divas, running at the Bradley Symphony Center September 26th through the 28th. Principal Pops conductor Byron Stripling will lead the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra and an all-star trio of vocalists in all of your favorite hits from the disco era. Think Donna Summer, Patti LaBelle, Diana Ross, and Chaka Khan, as well as the Bee Gees, Earth, Wind & Fire, and even Michael Jackson. Those silky high strings and thumping bass lines will never sound better as you dance and sing along in your seat to tunes like I Will Survive, We Are Family, I'm Coming Out, and more. So what are you waiting for? Get those sequins out of storage and call the box office now at 414-291-7605 for Disco Divas, or visit mso.org.
Truth Nation is one call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices. If you or a loved one is ever injured in an accident, do not hesitate to make one call, that's all, because y'all already know Gruber Law Offices will take care of the rest. When I got into a car accident, I got hit from behind. I made one call, that's all, to Gruber Law Offices, and they took great care of me, literally, from my back hurting, me going to physical therapy, me not having to worry about anything, to me getting my car fixed, and also me getting the money I deserve. They worked with me. They helped me get the money I deserve, and I want you to work with them so they can help you get the money you deserve, because I understand how traumatizing it can be to get into a car accident. So being able to let them handle all the legal stuff while you can focus on healing, that's why you get a team like Gruber Law Offices. So you can visit them today at gruber-law.com. That is gruber-law.com, or simply call them at 414-276-6666. And always remember, when you make one call, that's all, you never pay a single penny until you win your case. It's one call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
We are back. You're listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. This is your guest host, DT, filling in for Kyle while he's on assignment. He will be back next week. We all deserve a break. And I hope you are having a great week, getting ready for, speaking of breaks, the weekend. I'm trying to give y'all some good news today. If you haven't already heard, Microsoft announced yesterday that it's dropping a $7 billion AI data center in Racine County, specifically Mount Pleasant. And it is targeted, the first site, to be completed early 2026. Second site announced it will be a $4 billion facility. And what is so funny is that this site will be built on the land that was originally assembled for the Foxconn project. So a lot of us may be thinking, really? Now, Microsoft said this will be the world's most powerful data center. So Truth Nation, are you comfortable? Are you excited about this announcement? Do you believe it's hype? Because there's a lot of things that we'll have to consider as residents. So what's the minimum local hiring commitment that we want to see before we call this a win? Because right now they're projecting anywhere between 1,100 to 1,300 jobs. Are we feeling a little bit of Foxconn deja vu? Or is this something that we feel is real, is strong? Because the building is already standing in terms of, yep, we're doing this. It's not already physically standing, but the build, it's standing. And there is an active AI demand. Now, what's your take? Because anytime you're building the world's largest anything, there's going to be noise, there's going to be traffic, there's going to be closures, I-94 corridor. It's going to be a lot. And we've got the power grid. Now, because it's a data center and it requires a large amount of power utilization, Microsoft has already said that it's going to prepay the grid upgrades and run a, quote, mostly closed loop cooling system. But let's go back to the jobs. Because if this is going to be a 1,100 to 1,300 employment opportunity, then we're all ears. But I also want to make sure that as a Black American, that we are positioned and equipped, because this is what we've talked about before here on The Truth, is that there are a lot of companies, major employers, global Fortune 100 companies, i.e. Microsoft, that are looking at Wisconsin, that are looking at specifically Southeast Wisconsin. So are we ready? There's a lot of dynamics that are associated with this $3.3 billion project. And AI has already convinced Microsoft that in addition to the $3.3 billion project, we're going to spend another $4 billion to build a second facility. Let's take a listen to this video clip from our CBS 58 newsroom, or I shouldn't say our, this is coming from CBS 58 newsroom. It's live radio, y'all. And let's just hear some more about this new data center investment that is coming to Wisconsin. Check this out.
A $7.1 billion artificial intelligence data center is coming to Mount Pleasant today. Governor Tony Evers and Microsoft officials announced the new $4 billion investment to expand the data center. The first data center will open next year, becoming the most powerful data center in the world. Governor Tony Evers said the data center is good for the state, already creating 10,000 jobs for Wisconsin workers.
This
all right,
partnership
so
is setting up
if
Wisconsin
Governor Evers,
to be a
if Governor Evers is saying that, and I didn't mean to cut off Governor Evers, I respect leadership, but we do have a caller, and I just want to emphasize, and we'll go back and we'll hear from Governor Evers. This is a big deal. This is actually going to happen. And so we got to get ahead of the game and understand exactly what skills, what's the process, what's the screening that we need to be aware of. So this is where we need to lean into job forces, job centers like Employee Milwaukee. Al, thank you for your patience. You were live with your girl DT on Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. What is your question or comment?
My question is isn't it going to use up like 8.4 million gallons of water, and aren't they already being sued by the River West? And what is the potential of the pollution it brings with this data cooling?
Those are all great questions. And in terms of the closed loop cooling system, so think of, go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead, because I know they're already being sued right now, because I think it's going to be bad to the environment. So, because, we don't want, even though it might bring jobs and things, we want to make sure it's not going to be messing up the water.
And here's the crazy part. You are absolutely asking the right questions. The reason why I say it's the crazy part is because that's the whole catch-22. Because when we're talking about water, we're talking about air, oxygen, we're talking about the earth, period. So when you hear this closed loop cooling reassurance, to Al's point, is that enough? Or do we need some third party monitoring? And do we need access to public dashboards? So Al, to your point and to your valid question, these are the things that we have to understand, because at the end of the day, we're going to be the ones living, breathing, and impacted by this world's largest data center. So we're asking the right questions. And then what are the tax incentives to measure the outcomes of, should the state and county tie tax incentives to make sure that, and I'm for real, y'all, these are the questions that we got to ask. Are there going to be STEAM training seats? So STEAM is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math? Are there going to be dedicated, and I don't like this word, minority-owned vendor spend? Are there going to be wage floors? So Al, you asking all the right questions, and I'm with you, because this very well could be a catch-22. Now, I'm not familiar with the lawsuit, so I really can't speak a lot about that. So Al says on our YouTube message board that a lawsuit was filed by Milwaukee Riverkeepers against the city of Racine for failing to release documents related to water usage for the Mount Pleasant data center. Again, I can't confirm or deny, but Al, thank you for sharing that. That's definitely something that we will dig into. So this is where you got to stay locked into the truth, y'all, because we're going to be bringing you more updates as it relates to this major announcement from Microsoft. And again, Microsoft has announced that it is going to build a $7 billion data center in Racine County, Mount Pleasant, which is going to create about 500 jobs at the first site, growing towards another 800 jobs. Jobs, readiness, access, impact. These are all the things that we as a community need to make sure that we have full access to and full understanding. And again, this is where we're holding. Now, this is where we're going to be holding our elected officials accountable. Can't be holding elected officials accountable for raising your kids. But this, absolutely. Because again, to Al's point, how is this going to impact our environment that we have to live in? Traffic, noise, I-94 corridor, water and air. This is where, and again, employment, this is where we hold our elected officials accountable. So more to come. You want to make sure that you always stay locked in to the truth. Call in 833-212-1017. Our elected officials are always listening to the truth, and let us know how you feel. When we come back, we're going to get into another topic. Also, before we leave today, Americans, we are spending a lot of money on things that we do not need. So before we close out today, we're going to go through the top 10 things that people are wasting the most money on in 2025. I know y'all going to add to this list. We want to know what you feel about the list. And are you part of these people that, again, I'm guilty. So we're going to get into this list. We're going to hear from you. Stay locked in. You're listening to Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. That's because when you feel protected, Truth Nation, you are free to enjoy your dreams, from decorating a new nursery to hosting a family reunion in your new backyard. Always know American Family Insurance, they got you. So always remember, insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Visit amfam.com today. That is amfam.com today to get an instant quote right there on the spot, or find an agent near you. That is amfam.com today with American Family Insurance.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Truth Nation, if you are ever, and I mean if you are ever, or a loved one is ever injured in an accident, I have the team for you. It is Gruber Law Offices. You know exactly what they're about, because their results, they truly speak for themselves. You see the billboards, you see the commercial, but more importantly, you know that they are one of the largest law firms in the Midwest who have been serving the state of Wisconsin for 35 plus years. They are a family who is helping family, but they also stand up for victims, and they take the burden off your shoulders. You as the client, you focus on healing while they focus on the legal aspect. I'm telling y'all, there's no fee whatsoever to consult with them, to call them, or retain them as a law firm, and you never pay a single penny until they win your case. And what I love about them is they provide the best care, the best service, and the best representation, Truth Nation, because that is their priority. Call them today at 414-276-6666 or visit them at gruber-law.com. It's one call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
I want you to really stress the importance of having an ethnically diverse blood supply. But I guess, what do you say to people that, for whatever reason, are apprehensive about giving blood?
It's not by accident that we are building this fixed donation site right in the heart of this Halyard Park, Harambe neighborhood. And to your point, our black and brown donors, it probably represents the smallest demographic in our donor base. That's attributed to multiple reasons. For those of us that understand the history, there is a lot of underlying mistrust of the healthcare system. And quite frankly, there's already challenges with how busy people are, how accessible they are to even know where to go to donate blood. And let's face it, a lot of folks are scared of needles, right? But when they get through all of that, the importance, I think, is a heavier burden on our black and brown communities, because there are a lot of different blood diseases that require what I'll call more of a match in blood that only comes from people of similar ethnicities. Something that's specific to our black donors and patients is something that I think your listeners are very familiar with: sickle cell disease. The only therapy that get them through their day-to-day life is blood transfusions. And it's not just what I'll call average or normal blood type or blood transfusion. It's actually a specific blood with a specific type called RO blood. And this RO blood typically only comes from people of African descent and Hispanic descent. And so that's why it's so important that our donor base is diverse, so that it helps our ethnically diverse patient population.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Green Bay Packers are 2-0 and will take on the Cleveland Browns at Hurlington Bank Field. That game begins at noon Sunday. Coach Matt LaFleur.
The thing that you cannot do is start to press and jump certain things, and the next thing you know, the ball's going by you. So I just want to make sure we're playing disciplined first and foremost, but still with that mentality and that mindset to attack the ball.
The Brewers complete the sweep against the LA Angels, winning 5-2 in their final matchup. The crew heads down to St. Louis for a 3-game stand against the Cardinals. The Brewers sit at 94-59 on the year. Badger football is getting ready for a Big Ten matchup against Maryland. That game begins at 11 a.m. at Camp Randall on Saturday. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
It is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
We are back. You are listening to Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 FM, The Truth. I'm your girl, DT, the effective communication coach. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Happy Friday. It is Friday, or as some of us say, Friday, September 19th, 2025. I'm excited because I'm heading to Milwaukee next week, and I looked at the weather. Ooh, woo! You know you get excited when you're in Milwaukee and you see the temperature starting with the number 7. I'm all for the 70s next week. I love those, what do they call them, fall summers of Milwaukee. So I love it. I can't wait to be back live in the studio next week. Now, in the meantime, it's Friday. We're going to keep it light and easy for y'all before we get into our next 6 hours of live consecutive Milwaukee Black Talk Radio. Let's talk about that budget boogeyman of 2025. What does that mean, Denise? I'm so glad you asked. So the budget boogeyman of 2025 is basically where we are spending money. Now, a lot of us, we've been debating politics. We've been talking about playoffs. We've been talking about everything in terms of what's coming up, but our cash is ghosting us in the background. So a lot of us, we forget about subscriptions. We forget about those junk fees that we don't see. We forget about those deliveries that cost more than dinner. So have you had a screen time report where you can actually look at your digital wallet and say, oh my gosh, I just spent this amount of money on this? So I'm going to try to give y'all some tips that I'm actually adopting, that I've learned on ways that you can monitor and hopefully reduce your unnecessary spending. Before we do that though, let's talk about those money potholes of 2025. Now, subscriptions, those are the big ones. The subscriptions are the most wasteful ways that Americans are spending their money. Are you ready for this? We are spending about $90 a month average on subscriptions that we don't even use. So I'm not talking about the subscriptions that we actually use. We've signed up for things that we don't even realize we signed up for, and we're paying it. Truth Nation, our Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017. Rhea, I'm going to start with you. Just knee jerk, off the brain. What are you spending money on that you know you're not using, that you're not getting the return on the investment?
Ooh, I would have to say some subscriptions. Like, I feel like I have way too many right now, and it's like different streaming platforms. I think that's what's got me.
Yes, those streaming platforms. I'm serious. Like, so I have an iPhone. When I go to my Apple subscriptions and just look at how many wasteful things that I subscribe to, I got rid of a lot of stuff. And you know what was killing me, Truth Nation? The games. And they make it so easy to subscribe. You know what I'm saying? So like, click here and you could get a whole year for $5.99. So call me and confess, which one is your wallet's villain? I'm going to walk through this list here in terms of what are the top 10 things that we are spending our money on that we do not need to be spending our money on. And I'm guilty. Restaurant apps. So did y'all realize that these restaurant apps like Uber Eats and DoorDash and what's the other one that starts with the letter P? Postmates. They take about 15 to 30% commission. So you're often, we're paying 20 to 25% in addition to ordering the food versus just ordering direct. Damn. So the fix is, and I'm talking to myself when I say this, y'all, get your lazy you know what up and go pick up that order. Or just go to the store. Because also what's happening is that when we order online on our apps, a lot of times we already have a credit card or a debit card just automatically linked to it. So it just makes it so easy. Well, if it's your credit card, just know this. Those late fees are continuing to increase. So 41% of food app users paid late in the past year, those interest fees. I'm just saying, everything has a correlation. Number 2, ticket junk fees. I'm also guilty of buying tickets, whether it's tickets to a concert, whether it's tickets to a sporting event, any event, you know, we got these ticket junk fees. So here's what we can do. You can use the all-in pricing filter. So when you are going online to buy anything from a Ticketmaster or a StubHub, TickPick, whatever you're using, make sure you click the all-in pricing so that you can compare and really see, because a lot of times when you click purchase and you get to that final screen, we get our feelings hurt. We're like, wait a minute, you said $176, now it's $382. There are actual regulators that are suing over these inflated prices and triple dipping fees. But in the meantime, use those pricing filters and compare, because it is real out here. I'm going to go to the YouTube message board because someone already called it out. Let me see who it was. I want to say it was, yes, Ma the Elephant. That's number 3. We paying way too much on overdraft fees, and don't act like you ain't wrote a check that's bounced. Please don't act brand new, because we've been there. Do you know that banks, financial institutions rely heavily on overdraft fees as a revenue generator? Do not sleep on these overdraft fees. They are designed to be part of revenue. Now, the average overdraft fee is still around $27. And also think about those out-of-network ATMs. So banking fees, whether they're overdraft or ATM, they are killing us, and we are paying them money. So some of the ways that you can fix overdraft fees as well as ATM fees, because, like when you go to the ATM now, you're just trying to get 25, 50, just $100 pocket money, some petty cash. They're like, that'll be $5 extra. That'll be $6 extra. What? And that adds up. So find those fee-free banks. Use those alerts. Like when your bank account is about to get to $50 or below, make sure you have alerts set up. Hey, just so you know, you're at this level and you got some stuff coming in. You got some withdrawals coming in, so make sure you make those deposits. Or you can actually ask your bank, what type of accounts do you have that reimburse ATM charges? Yes, there are banks that will reimburse ATM charges for those out-of-network ATMs that you're using, because you can't always find your bank. I get it. So call your bank up and say, hey, do you have any checking or savings accounts that I can use that are ATM reimbursement friendly? Next. Rhea, I'm guilty of this too. And my dad, he gets on me about this. He's like, you don't need to do that. See, my dad is old school, traditional. And I'm like, but it's my baby. Putting premium gas in cars that do not need it. So there are cars that actually do need it, but there's a lot of cars, if you look at that manual, it'll tell you that premium is usually a waste. So make sure that you read the fuel door. So when you put gas in the car, just make sure it's telling you that you actually need premium. Rhea, talk to me, because your face is saying everything right now.
Do you just spend money on premium gas? I thought that was bad for your car if it's like not built for it. But do you actually go out and get premium gas? I've never heard anyone say this before.
You sound like my dad. Yes, I put 93 in my car. Just because, I pick my battles in life, Rhea. And I don't have time for car maintenance issues, and I don't have time to be, because my car, she's spoiled now.
Well, clearly.
She's on year 4. Yeah, she's on year 4 of premium gas. So if I go to regular, she's going to be like,
you can't go back now.
But my dad, so my dad, I should say my parents, they drive a Lexus RX 350, which for most would consider a luxury SUV. Elijah, he's like 89 on pump number 2, unleaded on pump number 2. I'm like, Dad, you have a Lexus. You can't unleaded, regular. If y'all got 86, put 86 in there. I don't need 87. Dad, that's the basic. Well, if you got 86.5, put 86.5 in my car. I'm just saying, y'all, my dad, he does not believe in premium. And apparently this is another area that we as consumers are wasting money on. So talk to me, Truth Nation, 833-212-1017. What are some of the most wasteful things that you are spending money on in 2025? And I'm surprised I haven't heard from my coffee drinkers. Rhea, I feel like you're a coffee drinker. I feel like you're a premium coffee drinker when you walk into these high-end, bougie coffee place and they're like, "Good morning, Maria. Would you like your normal caramel macchiato with 2 splashes of skim milk and goat cheese?" Like, are you that person?
Absolutely not.
And
Actually, I will say,
okay.
I'm not a big coffee drinker. I'm a tea drinker first, but working here, I've drank more
even
coffee.
more bougie.
I know. Tea, really?
Tea is bougie.
What? I make it.
That's what they do across the pond. Yeah, y'all black bougie people, y'all be drinking that tea. I'll be like, let me get a American black with 2 splashes of Splenda. Yes, I would like a hyperventilated green tea with a splash of y'all bougie. I'm a basic black coffee drinker. I like my coffee like I like my men. Black. Straight black. Did I say that out loud? I love all men. All right, y'all. We're going to take a break, but call in and let me know, what are you wasting your money on? Is it coffee? Is it subscriptions? Are you getting robbed by your bank through fees and whatnot? Talk to me. Let's let it all out on this Truth to Power Friday with Kyle Wallace. You're listening to your girl, DT, the effective communication coach, guest hosting, as Kyle will be back next week. Love and appreciate y'all. We're going to come back and hear more about what we're wasting our hard-earned money on in 2025 on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app. Catch Truth to Power every weekday from noon to 1 p.m.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to the host of Hoops Tonight, Jim Tipp. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Truth Nation is one call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices. If you or a loved one is ever injured in an accident, do not hesitate to make one call, that's all, because y'all already know Gruber Law Offices will take care of the rest. When I got into a car accident, I got hit from behind. I made one call, that's all, to Gruber Law Offices, and they took great care of me, literally, from my back hurting, me going to physical therapy, me not having to worry about anything, to me getting my car fixed, and also me getting the money I deserve. They worked with me. They helped me get the money I deserve, and I want you to work with them so they can help you get the money you deserve, because I understand how traumatizing it can be to get into a car accident. So being able to let them handle all the legal stuff while you can focus on healing, that's why you get a team like Gruber Law Offices. So you can visit them today at gruber-law.com. That is gruber-law.com, or simply call them at 414-276-6666. And always remember, when you make one call, that's all, you never pay a single penny until you win your case. It's one call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices.
We are the American Cancer Society, making strides against breast cancer. We are nearly 1 million strong and growing stronger every day. Join us on Saturday, October 11th at 8 a.m. at Summerfest Southgate as we come together for the Making Strides of Milwaukee Walk. Whether you walk for a survivor, in the memory of a loved one, or to support the American Cancer Society, you bring us closer to a future free from breast cancer. Are you ready to join the #1 breast cancer movement in the country right here in Milwaukee? Sign up for free today at www.makingstrideswalk.org/MilwaukeeWI.
Truth Nation, I'm telling you this right now. Life is better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. And it is so easy today to get a quote. You can get a quote online by simply going to amfam.com. Or what I love about it, I like talking to people in person. So you can also find an agent near you while visiting amfam.com. And with American Family Insurance, you always know you feel protected and you are free to enjoy your dreams. And that's from decorating a new nursery to hosting a family reunion in your new backyard to whatever life brings you. American Family Insurance has your back. So always remember to insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Visit amfam.com to get a quote or find an agent near you.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered with fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog custom t-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
Talk to these people in terms of how do I register for this program despite my reservations and my previous experiences of rejection?
Yes, I tell anybody and everybody that you can buy a house. It may take somebody longer than the other person depending on what your circumstances is with your credit and income and affordability, but you can purchase a house. The first step would be is to register for our program. You can come to our office, 7830 West Burleigh Street, or you can give us a call at 414-461-6330, or just go onto our website, hri-wi.org. Register for the first-time home buyer education workshop. That's going to be your first step to home ownership. During that class, you're going to learn everything that you need to know from A to Z, how to get approved for a house, how to look for a house and put an accepted offer, and how to close on a home.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. I obviously am not Kyle, as he is on assignment and will be back next week. I'm holding the fort down. I'm so happy to. Thank you, Truth Nation, for tuning in. It is Friday, and we've been talking about the top 10 things that you, me, the person next to you, we be wasting money, y'all. These are the top 10 things that people waste the most money on. We started off talking about those subscriptions, those ticket fees that we pay. You know, it's football season, y'all. The Bucks season's gonna be coming up. We're gonna have football season, Bucks season. Now you're probably saying, why are you not saying Packer season? Now, y'all know me, and y'all see me in YouTube. So, there's a lot of money that we spend because we just want to get to the purchase screen, the screen that says purchased. Or we fall for the impulsive trick like, you got 30 seconds. If you click this button, we'll give you a 1-year subscription for $4.99, and you've done that 10 times already. So let's get into the rest of this list. Eating out. And we talked about ordering food and paying those delivery fees. I'd rather sometimes y'all pay $20 for a $4 entree than get up and get in my car and go get it. That's a shame. Now, for us that are eating out, grabbing lunch on our breaks, even if you just spend $20 a day on restaurant meals, let's say you eat out on an average of 3 times a week. Check this out, Rhea. This is crazy when I read this. If you eat out 3 times a week, and for those that are on the YouTube message board, I'm guilty because you get it. But do you know that's $240 extra a month? And that's almost $3,000. Like, think about what you could do if you just put that extra money in a high yield savings account. Let me say that differently. Denise, yes. DT, did you know that if you stop eating out like you eat out and just have that money put in a high yield savings account, by the end of the year, you could probably have about $5K just waiting on you. That's crazy, but that's so real. Then coming in at number 3, because I'm going to skip number 2 because we've already talked about impulse buying online. I'm guilty of this too. Buying those quick and easy foods and drinks, the pre-cut fruit, the bottled smoothies, the grab and go snacks that save time. Yeah, but we paying for packaging, not just the food too. So a lot of times we're paying more per serving if we would just make it at home. I promise you, Rhea, this is a real story. This is a real story, y'all. This happened just this week. I love sliced apples, and I'll put almonds and like some organic fat-free yogurt, a little bit, because I'm not a big dairy person. Why was I mad, Rhea? Why was I mad, Truth Nation? They didn't have the sliced apples, and I had to buy the full apples in the bag. But then when I was at the receipt, I was like, oh, I've been paying. Yeah, I'm telling you, this list, y'all, it was written for me. Let me go to the YouTube message board. We got a lot going on our YouTube message board, which you can go to right now. 101.7 The Truth. Hit that subscribe button so that way you don't ever miss, ever miss any of your favorite Truth Nation shows. Ma the Elephant says, I always have my stack of chamomile tea along with my honey container from Walmart or Target. My impulsive spending habits, is coming from RN Kawanda, are buying things for others who don't appreciate. Hold on, I got to read this slow because I'm with you on this, Kawanda. RN Kawanda on our YouTube message board said, my impulsive spending habits are buying things for others who don't appreciate it or give back. But that stopped because helping ungrateful people only hurts me. I know that's right, RN Kawanda. Speak your truth.
Let him cook.
Invest in the... Yes, that's right. I love it. Dre says, Denise, why are you attacking us? Look, Dre, I'm attacking both of us, right? Because we look, dead girl, she's laughing. Y'all know we spend too much money. Now, RN Kawanda also says, I meal prep and do my own home smoothies and alternate if I have a smoothie for breakfast. I eat salmon for dinner and maybe breakfast for dinner. See, and I make breakfast for dinner. See, RN Kawanda, that's why you're going to be winning all year round. Because it adds up. I'm guilty too, dead girl 2820. I am guilty too. So I'm attacking all of us because y'all know we are spending way too much money on things that we don't need to be spending money on. Number 5, this is a big one, y'all. Paying for unused streaming services. Please make sure that you are auditing your subscriptions every month. Cancel those ones that you have not opened up in weeks. And let me tell y'all what this just happened recently after I read this article. I had Rhea Hulu. I had Netflix. Rhea's like, check. I had Disney, Paramount, YouTube TV, NFL Network. Look at Rhea. And then what's the other one I'm missing? So I said Netflix. Yeah. So I was paying, because see, the thing is, they get you because they seem like they're little, because it's like $9.99 here, $12.99 there. Y'all, I was paying almost $200, which defeats the purpose, because do y'all remember when streaming first came out? We were like, bye-bye, cable companies. We don't need you anymore. Shoot. Where you at, Spectrum? Where you at, Comcast? Holla at your girl. I'm ready to come back. I made a mistake. Take me back. I'm sorry. I'm begging you. I'm on bended knee. Take me back, cable company. I need you. I was wrong. I thought the grass was greener. I can't do it no more, y'all. So again, Spectrum, Comcast, holla at your girl. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's like at least for me, it was like $80. I was like, I can't do this.
Okay, but see, here's the thing. And actually, I'm gonna tell you why I got YouTube, because I said it wrong. So I'm glad you said that, because let me clarify. My YouTube TV subscription comes with NFL Network.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But to your point, let me tell you, because they caught on to what we was doing. Me and your uncle, what we would do is we would hit that trial button. Look at Rhea laughing. We would hit that trial button and watch the game that we want to watch. And then we go back and be like, psych, just playing, don't want it, cancel. Well, you forget to do that. So I had to go back and audit all the subscriptions. So now Rhea, do you have a Droid or a Google phone?
I do not.
Because maybe you can help us out. You have an iPhone?
I have an iPhone.
Do you have an iPhone? Okay, so yeah, you know how it is. When you go to iPhone, if you click on your picture, you'll go to subscriptions, and you're going to either get your feelings hurt, or you're going to be like, you go, girl.
See?
But please, y'all.
I learned something. I have this thing called like Rocket Money, where it tracks all of your extra subscriptions that you pay on. and tells you, like, okay, you haven't used this in a long time. You're also paying into this. You can delete it. You want us to delete it for you? That's my cheat.
Okay, now wait a minute. What's it called again? Rocket Money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
check
you
it
for putting us up on that.
It's not bad.
And how much money did you end up saving, or did you realize you were wasting?
I realized I was wasting maybe like another 100 or so. I did this like a year ago. I still have it, so I have to go back into it. You pay what you want to offer to them, and they do it for you, and they just track it for you. So I saved about $100 or so. It racked back up. I'm back on the streaming sites, but it's good. I like it.
So wait a minute. You're saving $100 a month, or in total when you canceled?
I saved $100 a month from finding out what I was spending all this like extra money on.
Sis, that's $1,200 a year. You're winning. I love it. You are literally winning.
It worked
Think
out.
about it. Like, because when we put it in that perspective, what could you do with $1,200? There's a lot that I could do with $1,200, especially when it comes to bills. Truth Nation, thank y'all so much. We're going to make sure that before we go out tonight, y'all, I'm with you. We're going to go and look at our subscriptions, and we're going to cancel anything that is not bringing absolute value or that we are not utilizing. Shout out to Rhea, who put us up on Rocket Money. Save our money, y'all, because as RN Kawanda said, because most of my subscriptions are under my mobile service plan. Also, I use all my nursing credentials for credit. I know that's right. When you save money, you earn money. And when you earn money, because money's a tool, you're winning. Speaking of winning, make it a great weekend. Up next, 3 hours of live consecutive Black Talk Radio from our brother Tory Lowe, followed by Dr. Ken Harris, Truth in the Afternoon. I will see y'all, Milwaukee. Pray for me for a safe flight, because I cannot wait to be back in Milwaukee next week. Make it a great weekend. I love you. Tell somebody you love them. You deserve it. Peace out.
Coming with straight truth.
And to make matters even worse, Truth Nation,